In this week's live lesson, we are going to talk about how to talk about other people. In today's live lesson, we are going to focus on 3 key verbs that we use to share information about other people. We are going to focus on the reporting verbs that we use and making sure that we use them correctly. So please make sure that as you join, you hit the like button, of course, and share this video so that other people can find today's lesson. That would be super, super cool. So while we wait for people to join us live, I have 2 super quick announcements as always. The first one is about this banner at the bottom of the screen. It says get free PDF cheat sheets. So if you have not checked it recently, the team has a bunch, so many free PDFs for you to download so you can practice your vocabulary, so that you can learn new expressions, new conversational phrases, and so on. So if you want to access this, please check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You can go down on this page to find all of the different PDFs that you can download for free. So the team has added some new ones here, so if you have not checked recently, take a look. Maybe you can find something new. You just need your name and your email address to make a free account at EnglishClass101.com, and then you can download all of them. So I hope that is super, super helpful for you. That is announcement number 1. Announcement number 2, as always, if you have questions for me, please send them to me. Please send them to me at the official question submission page for our official question and answer series called Ask Alicia. You can find this at EnglishClass101.com/ask. That is a very long URL, so please check the YouTube description for the official question submission page and send me your questions. You can find the official page there. If you send the question there, I will definitely read it. I will definitely read it, and maybe I'll choose it to be in the series. So if you want to send a question, send it there. Don't send it in Instagram or, I don't know, Twitter or I don't know where else. Too many comments on all the social media platforms, so please send it to the official page. Also, if you want to find me on Instagram, you can find that link in the description too. Okay, I think everything is rolling. Yeah, I think I got a message from our team that said we're looking pretty good. Awesome, great. So please make sure, if you haven't, to like and share this video. I am going to like and share the video right now. Where's the video? Perfect. Okay, great. Facebook, you're all here. I'm going to like and share. Okay, good. Everybody's here, everybody's here. Hi, everybody, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's get into today's live topic then. Today we are going to look at how to talk about other people. So I want to focus on 3 key verbs that we use. So let's go through these one by one. I'll say quickly hello to everybody. Hi, everybody. Natalie and Ornaldo and Almin Tamalito, hello. Perfect. Hello. Hi, Dilshad as well. Good. What's up, Facebook? Is everybody here on Facebook? Gregorio and Juan and GDQ and John Gyro. Hello, El Hassan. Welcome. Okay, everybody is here. Let's get into it. Today, I hope that you get a lot of opportunities to practice your own example sentences in the chat, okay? So I think that this is a point that lots of learners struggle with sometimes. So let's break it down. Let's look at maybe the most important verb today. Our first verb is say. The focus verb is say. Let's begin with this one. I think it's so important, and I hear a lot of mistakes with this. So first, what do we use say to do? So we use say for basic reports of speech. What do I mean? Basic reports of speech means when you want to just express the thing that came from someone's mouth. So not good, not bad, just basic. We use the verb say to do that, okay? And we also use say just for daily conversation, like when 2 people are talking together, yeah? So say is neutral, right? It doesn't sound good, doesn't sound bad, nothing positive or negative. Basic report, of speech, okay? So say is a very important verb. When we use this in past tense, we use said, said. So said is the pronunciation here, not said. Sometimes I hear people say said, and that's not correct. It is said, said. So be careful of your pronunciation with this verb in the past tense, okay? So we use this verb to express the basic things that come from other people's mouths, right? So let's look at two examples, and then you can send me your examples in the chat, and we'll take a look live. We'll break down the different grammars and see what's happening in these sentences, okay? So here are two examples. First one is, he said he can't come to dinner. He said he can't come to dinner. So what's happening here? Let's begin with this part. He said, yeah? So here is our past tense verb, our reporting verb. So he said, this means I am reporting his words. So the words from this man in this case. He said, and then after the verb is the information, the stuff he said. He can't come to dinner. He said he can't come to dinner, right? So we are reporting this with this verb. He said he can't come to dinner, okay? So we have the same pattern here in example sentence 2. She said, in this case. So the person speaking is a woman. She said she has to work today. So again, said tells us the reported information, and she has to work today is the key information she gave us, right? She said she has to work today, right? So after the verb said is the information we received, right? So as you can imagine, we can put lots of different grammar patterns after said, right? So this grammar can be very, very flexible, right? Because the subject can say lots of different things, yeah? It depends on the situation. So after said, we can see lots of different grammar points. But the key is we use this verb just for the most basic type of report, okay? So I'm gonna look for your examples now. In the YouTube chat, Nahora wrote, Mom said she is busy right now. Perfect, okay? So past tense, Mom said, and then she is busy right now. Great, so we have a different grammar point there. Nice one, okay. Others, Carlos wrote, Alicia, say. Okay, so Carlos, you put say, right? So that's present tense. Alicia said. Pay attention to the lesson, right? Use past tense. I said. Also, did I say that? So, said in this example sentence. Make sure past tense, right? So say doesn't make sense. I didn't use those words, right? Think about past tense uses of this because we are reporting something. It's finished, right? So not say, okay? All right, other examples. Marlene wrote, she said she has to study today. Very nice. She said she has to study today, okay? Facebook, do you have some examples? Let's see, YouTube is doing a great job. Let's see, Facebook, what's up? Facebook, I see lots of people saying hello. There's one. Juan said she can't make breakfast today. Nice one. She said she can't make breakfast today. Okay, nice one. Kay on YouTube said, my cousin said he can't drive. Nice one. Okay, others. Nelson, I said to my friends to watch Alicia always. Nelson, please pay attention in part 2. We have a better verb, okay? So when we have one direction for information, there's a better verb to use. So Nelson, please watch part 2, okay? Gertrude has said, Alicia said she has 3 announcements for us. Did I? I think I said 2. I always have 2. Okay. Arayas on YouTube said, my father said that she was happy for her present. Who is she here? Maybe my father said that my mother or my sister was happy to receive a present. Make sure when you use these, a very good point, even for native speakers. Sometimes native speakers have trouble with this. When you use he or she or my father or my mother, make sure you're very clear about the people in the sentence. So for example, if you say, my father said she, blah, 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 it's like, who is she in that sentence? I don't know, right? So when you have two different people in your reporting sentence, it's often a very good idea to name the person. So for example, my boss said my coworker is sick today, right? If you say, my boss said she is sick today, it's like, oh, my boss is sick, right? So if you have two people, or maybe three or more, make sure you are very clear about the different people. So give them their name or maybe a title, yeah, so we can understand the different people in your sentence, okay? All right. Mujahid is on Facebook, asks the sequence of tenses. Yes, so when we use this reporting verb, we talk about something that is finished, right? Someone said the information. It's finished, it's done. So this verb is in past tense, right? However, this grammar can be very flexible, like I said. It depends on the situation. It depends on the report, right? But we need to use past tense said here, okay? All right. Mohammed on Facebook says, my brother said I am not going to school today. Perfect. Nice examples. Okay, great. So this is the focus verb say. So let's take a super quick break. And then we're going to look at focus verb number 2 and how to use that correctly. Awesome. So great job with the first verb. Let's take a quick break. If you missed it earlier, our team has free PDF cheat sheets for you to download at EnglishClass101.com. So you can find the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You will find this page. If you go down on the page, you can access all of these PDFs. You can download them, print them out, put them on your phone to study different vocabulary points, different conversational phrases. So I hope that this is something that you can use like on the train or when you're traveling or during a break, whatever. So check this out. If you have not checked recently, the team adds new PDFs all the time. So go to EnglishClass101.com and you can find this. You need your name and an email address to get a free account to download everything. So please enjoy. All right, let's continue to part 2. If you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson. I'm going to like it. I guess I can like it again. Okay, let's go. All right, let's continue to part 2. Let's go to the next focus verb. Okay, the next focus verb is tell. Tell. All right, so we talked about say in part 1 for basic reports of speech, right? Not good, not bad, just maybe two people sharing information. Yes? So tell, very important verb also. Let's break down how we use tell. So we use tell for one-way information sharing, usually. Okay, what does this mean? Let me make this smaller. So when I say use tell for one-way information sharing, I mean when we use tell, it's like one person is speaking a lot, or one person is higher up, like your boss, your manager, maybe your parent, right? So when one person is giving lots and lots of information, they're the focus kind of speaker. When we want to talk about that information, we can use tell to do this, right? We use past tense when we report this information. The past tense of tell is told, okay? So we use this verb, for example, when we give a recommendation to our friends, right? Because we are the focus speaker, yeah? Or when someone at work gives us a task, right? We use tell, or past tense told, right? Because they are the focus speaker. They're our boss, right? So let's take a look at some examples of tell and see what's happening here, okay? So let's begin with, let's begin with the first one. He told me he can't come. He told me he can't come. So maybe you can see there are some grammar differences in this sentence. Let's break down what's different, right? We have to use different grammar from say, all right? First, he told, right? So we have this past tense verb here. So we know this is like one focus speaker, right? He told me he can't come. After this, however, we have me. So when we use the verb tell, past tense, told, we follow the verb with the person who receives the information. In this case, me, right? He told me. So focus speaker, tell, me. Focus speaker, tell, and receiver of information. He told me he can't come. Okay? So it sounds like he's giving me information. Like maybe it's not like a conversation, but just a report of one piece of information or one key bit of information from one source. Yeah? Let's look at the second example. She told me she has to work. She told me she has to work. Again, we have our past tense verb, told, she told me, and me, the person receiving the information, followed by the information we received. She has to work, okay? So we use this grammar pattern a lot for like gossip, right? So he told me this, she told me that, right? So we use this to talk about like kind of stories, right? When we hear a long story from our friend, right? We use tell, the verb tell, because our friend is like the focus speaker. They're speaking for a long time, telling a story. So it's very natural to use tell and past tense told, right? Okay, so let's take a look at your examples now. I also want to mention when you want to change the receiver of the information, change this. She told me, for example, becomes she told him, or she told her, or she told you, right? So we can change this part to change the receiver, the recipient of the information. Okay, let's see your examples. Marlene wrote, he told me he is good in math. In American English, we use at, good at something, to be good at math. Good. Natalie writes, he told me he plans to study abroad. Nice one, Natalie. Okay. Robson writes, my teacher told me she is about to retire. Nice one, Robson. Zanelle, I hope I said that correctly, said, I was told to convey the best news. Okay, very formal. Nahora wrote, my boss told me I can't come to work in sneakers. Nice example. Piafi says she told me she has to work. Good. Jonathan writes, where'd you go? I lost your message. Okay, I've told you about them and what they did last week. Okay, I've told you. Okay, that could work as well, depending on the situation. Nando wrote, the doctor told me I should eat gluten-free food. Okay. All right, yep, so I'm seeing, again, some of you are asking about verb tenses. I just saw like 3 messages. So again, we have different grammar. We can follow tell and say with different grammar depending on the information we receive, right? So for example, in this case, he told me he can't come, maybe to an event today, right? So he can't come today, right? But maybe we receive information about a past situation. Like she told me she met her friends last week, right? So depending on the information we receive, the grammar at the end of this is going to change, right? So I'm not going to talk about future, past, present tense grammar because this is a very, very flexible kind of pattern, yeah? So we use this verb in past tense to show we are reporting information we received from one focus speaker, okay? The part after this, the information we receive, depends on this person. So what did they say, right? They might tell you something about the future, something about the present, something about the past, right? So this grammar will be very, very flexible. Again, just like Fifth said. Okay, Facebook. Do you have some examples, Facebook? Are your classmates on YouTube doing better? Let's see. Jose writes, my boss told me a few minutes ago that we are going to work tomorrow. Nice one, Jose. Okay. Others. Ooh, D. Zimshine. She told her she can't love me. So who is her? She told her she can't love me. So maybe she told her friend she can't love me. Again, we practiced, I mentioned, with say also. But when you use these reporting verbs, when you use say and tell, be very, very clear about the different, like the speakers and the receivers, right? So in your example, she told her. Who is her? I don't know the situation, right? So my friend told my roommate, right? Or she told my mother, right? So who are the speakers? If you don't, native speakers have this problem too. If you're not clear in these sentences, who is speaking, who is receiving the information, we don't know, right? We have to ask follow-up questions. So be very, very clear about this. Okay, Lewi Laura on Facebook, hey, says she told us that she has to stay at home for several days. Nice examples. Okay, good, good, good. So this is how we use this to report speech, but we use this a lot to share information about other people. Like we use this for gossip a lot, okay? We're going to focus more on gossip in part 3, okay? All right, let's continue then to another very, very quick break, and then we'll go on to our last grammar point, our last focus verb, where we practice a little bit more with rumors. Okay, so very quickly, if you missed it earlier, our team has free PDF cheat sheets. You can find all of this from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You will find this page. If you go down on this page, you can get all of the different PDFs. You can find all of the different conversation focus points, lots of different like holidays, different topics for you to work on your vocabulary. So I hope that this is helpful for you. You just need your name and an email address to make a free account at EnglishClass101.com. Okay, let's go to the last part. So last focus verb then is going to be here. We are going to talk about here. Okay, so when do we use here? Okay, so here is kind of interesting. Okay, because we use here for things like news, for rumors, for unofficial information. So this is the verb we use a lot to kind of gossip about people. The past tense is heard. Heard. Please be careful. I hear sometimes learners say heard. That's not correct. Not heard, but heard. Heard is the past tense of this verb. I heard this. I heard that. So we use this when we want to share information that is unofficial, of course, and of course, information you get with your ears, of course, of course. But we use this a lot for unofficial information. I heard this about her. I heard that about him. Okay? So when we want to talk about like these like other people's life updates, we can use this verb to do that. Okay? So let's take a look at some examples, and then let's break down how we use these types of sentences. So let's take a look. First one, I heard she's going to quit. I heard she's going to quit. So when we say heard here, I heard she's going to quit. This sounds like maybe there's a rumor in the office, yeah? Or maybe you, for example, Maybe you were in a meeting room or something and somebody was talking outside and you heard the information. You heard something that said she was unhappy at her job, maybe, right? So this sounds like it's not official, but you just want to spread some information. You got some piece of information somewhere and you want to explain that to another person. You can use heard to do that. I heard she's going to quit. So we use this kind of thing when we want to just be a little bit like, this is interesting, right? So it sounds kind of like we're not 100% sure, but we do at least want to share the information as like a topic of conversation, okay? I heard she's going to quit. Oh my gosh. So again, we have some flexible grammar at the end. I heard, plus we have this grammar at the end that again can change depending on the information. So in this case, it's a future tense sentence. I heard she's going to quit. We could change it. I heard she might quit. Also correct, right? Or past tense. I heard she quit, right? So we can use different grammar in this kind of sentence, again, depending on the situation. It all depends on the information we receive, okay? Let's look at one more example. I see some of you are already sending some very interesting examples, but this verb is very fun for talking about other people in very unofficial ways. So, our second example, my roommate heard our rent might increase. My roommate heard our rent might increase. So again, we have, in this case, the person who received the unofficial information. My roommate heard our rent. So the money you pay for your house every month if you do not own your house, right? Your apartment. My roommate heard our rent might increase. Okay. So we don't know 100%, but the roommate got some information somewhere and they think, uh-oh, our rent might go up. So increase means to go up, okay? So we can use this verb to share this unofficial information. I heard this about her. I heard that about him, okay? So we use this a lot for gossiping and also just to try to share information. It's not always negative, right? We're just giving information that may not be official. So we like to use the verb hear to do that, okay? Let's go to Facebook first. I always go to YouTube first. What's up, Facebook? Do you have some examples with here? Juan says, I heard my friend is dating a woman from Hungary. Okay, nice one. Lewi writes, I heard that Laura is pregnant. Nice one. D. Zim said, I heard she's going to marriage. So marriage is a noun. I heard she's going to get married. I heard she's going to get married. Okay. Others, wow, YouTube. There's a lot on YouTube. What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, I missed some. Okay. Where is it? Tamalitos. I heard my boss likes Peppa Pig. Okay. Very interesting one. I like that. That's funny. That's funny gossip. Good example. Let's see, others. Zanelle said, I heard that there are some new developments after our meeting. Nice one. That's a good business workplace example. Okay. Others. Patrick, I heard the third war is close. Like third world war is close. Nice one. Okay, hopefully not, right? Tony wrote, I heard American people don't like to learn foreign languages. Maybe some people. Maybe that's true for people in every country, I think. The Black Eagle. I heard my friend is dating my sister. Interesting. Okay, Marlene. Where'd it go? Okay, Marlene, I heard she's going to travel to New York. Nice one. Oh, Mauricio, one of our members. Hello. Let's see, what else? Evanildo said, I heard Michael Jackson is alive. Very interesting rumors. So you can see we use this verb to talk about so many different topics. You can send crazy information, as some of you are doing in the chat. And of course, you can share information from daily life as well. Great examples, everybody. Others, Booster has one. I heard tomorrow is going to rain. Yeah, so I heard it's going to rain tomorrow. That sounds like maybe somebody told you, but you didn't check the weather report. Yeah, so Very nice examples, everybody. Okay. I don't see questions. Facebook has some more. I heard she's going to leave. I heard she went to a restaurant to have dinner. I heard we might have a vacation next week. Nice job, everybody. Great job with here. I think that sounds excellent. So as you can see, this one is a great way to use, this verb is a great verb to use to share this unofficial information, and we use it a lot when we talk about other people and the things other people might do or might not do, okay? So, time's up for this week. Great example sentences, everybody. I love that. That was super, super cool. So today we talked about 3 verbs that we use for talking about other people, right? So when we do this, we use say for basic reports, we use tell for like one focus speaker, and we use hear when we want to share unofficial information too. So you can use these 3 verbs to talk about other people, the things they say, the things they do, and so on. Okay, great. So I'm going to end today's class here. That was awesome. Thank you so much for your amazing questions and example sentences. Next week, I'll be back, of course. Next week's lesson information is here. So I will be back on Wednesday, June 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it, or you can set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, sometimes I post a link and a topic reminder in my Instagram story, so please come follow me on Instagram for that update, maybe, and other stuff too. Next week, I'm going to talk about explaining what you want people to do. So this is a very important skill, not just making requests, but also how do you explain like the steps of something? How do you tell somebody just a command, right? Nicely. So this is what we are going to practice next week. Okay, so I'll finish today's lesson there. So thank you so much for joining me as always, and I hope that if you have not already, you check the link below the video or above the video to get the free PDF cheat sheets at EnglishClass101.com, so you can work on your vocabulary. That's super, super helpful for many people, I think. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for liking and sharing the video. Thank you so much for writing your awesome comments throughout today's lesson. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend.